Tesla is on the cusp of refreshing their two most popular cars. The Model 3 Project Highland has been seen testing out on the roads a lot, and many expected this car to have arrived by now. It should be coming soon, but whenever Tesla refreshes that car, the question will be, what about the Model Y? The Model Y is now the best-selling car in the whole world, and its design came largely from the Model 3. Today we're going to break down what we expect from the Model Y refresh, and what we want to see Tesla bring in this car, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Masterworks for sponsoring a portion of this video. The Project Highland Model 3 has been in talks and rumor for quite some time now. We keep seeing it out on the road, seeing various leaks, and hearing reports from insiders at Tesla. Overall, we're looking at an updated exterior design, mainly in the headlights and taillights, changes to the interior, and updates to the way that this car is manufactured. So what should the Project Highland Model Y bring? Well, first of all, according to rumor, the updated Model Y is codenamed Project Juniper right now at Tesla. Its release is scheduled for 2024 and is expected to come a decent amount of time after Tesla puts new life into the Model 3. According to Reuters, quote, "The changes to the Model Y, codenamed Project Juniper, involve the exterior and interior of the EV with a target of starting production in 2024. The Model Y is actually a bit of a bigger project for Tesla to upgrade compared to the Model 3, since it's made it all 4 of Tesla's factories instead of just 2 of them. It's also the car they have scaled up more than any others and their most popular. That said, it's only a matter of time before it arrives, and the first things we'd expect would be all of the changes the Project Highland Model 3 will bring. First is the updated headlights. This new design should look pretty cool on the Model Y and help it stand out from prior years. The rear would adopt a similar look here. Overall, very small changes, but something that differentiates the car and brings it a little more into the future. For the interior, it looks like the Model Y would adopt a stockless steering wheel situation, which involves blinker buttons and shifting by swiping on screen. This is the setup the Model S and X currently have. This has mixed reviews from owners, so that'll be interesting if Tesla brings it to their most popular car. In any case, the dash is expected to bring upgrades, but one other upgrade involving steering could be huge. Steer-by-wire is expected to come to the Highland Model 3 and would then come to the Model Y. This technology opens up new avenues for more driving dynamics and could make the yoke even more practical for these cars. The yoke is fully expected to be an option on the upcoming Project Highland or Juniper Model Y next year. Inside, new RGB lights, an updated dash, and a more modern feel are expected. But of course, at this point, nothing is finalized. Tesla is still going strong with current Model Y production, and we've yet to see the Project Highland Model 3 released, so a lot can change when it comes to this Model Y refresh. Here are some things we'd love to see on this car. First up might be a long shot, but it's an instrument cluster display or heads-up display. Right now, Tesla relies on the center 15-inch touchscreen to give you all info, and it's getting a bit crowded. As Tesla adds more and more software features, the left side of the screen is still handling all necessary driving info, and then there is a lot of control on the rest of the screen. Maps, music, AC, various settings, blind spot camera, and more. In the future as well, a Tesla App Store is expected, so Tesla finally giving in and putting an instrument cluster display on this car would be a welcomed change. That way, driving info can live on its own screen and the center screen handles the rest. This really is the ideal setup in the Model S and X, and that has an even larger 17-inch display. A heads-up display is another potentially simpler option here, but I doubt Tesla could move the info off the screen in that case. All of that said, the Cybertruck appears to be sticking with one center screen, so it may be a long shot that Tesla ever adds a screen back into the Model Y. Next is additional cameras. Rumor has it that the Model 3 Highland is adding 3 new cameras, 2 additional ones on the sides and 1 front bumper camera. These will be there to help with FSD, eliminate blind spots there, allow the car to see further forward for things like FSD and parking sensor replacement, and then they could finally bring a 360-degree overhead view. This is a feature that is pretty shocking that Tesla doesn't include at this point. Most average cars have a version of this feature, and Tesla still has nothing like it. Rivian has a great version of this, Lucid does as well, Mercedes does, Hyundai has a simple version of it, Ford has it as well, but Tesla, who is seen as the most tech-forward car maker with the most cameras, does not. Their autopilot visualization tries to emulate it, but does not do so in any reliable fashion. In 2020, Elon Musk said, "Vector space bird's eye view coming with FSD." That feature still hasn't arrived, and maybe it has proven much more difficult for Tesla to deliver because the car doesn't have the necessary cameras in the right positions. Now they'll be adding them. At the same time, I sincerely hope they deliver this feature outside of the $15,000 FSD package, because then it wouldn't actually be a feature of this car. I'd love to see this feature, and maybe it'll finally come with the updated Juniper Model Y. Next would be another great feature for interior comfort, and another thing fairly standard on vehicles in this price range: ventilated seats. The Model S and X have ventilated and heated seats, which makes them incredibly comfortable on long summer road trips. In a Model 3 or Y in the dead of summer, you'll likely get a sweaty back, whereas ventilated seats are pretty standard in competing cars. Ventilated Model 3 seats, which are the same as the Model Y, leaked in China recently, so it looks like this feature could arrive soon. I would love to see it come, even if it's a paid upgrade that Tesla offers as an option. Next for comfort would be the return of moving passenger lumbar support. Tesla removed this in the Model 3 and Y a little while ago now. According to Elon Musk, it was because data showed that people weren't using it, and they were able to save on cost here. However, people do use it, and I've found many times that I have a passenger and they try to adjust it, but it's simply not there. For a car starting at $48,000, it's definitely an omission. With new ventilated seats, I'd love to see Tesla bring back moving passenger lumbar support. As for the rear seats in the Model Y, Tesla has actually made a change here in China that hasn't arrived elsewhere. Depending on who you ask, the Model Y rear seats are either incredibly comfortable or terribly uncomfortable. I tend to find them to be decently comfortable, especially with recline options, but those seats have been unchanged in most markets. In China though, the Model Y's rear seats extend out about 30 millimeters further for added comfort on people's legs. This may be something we see them standardize across all markets in the new Model Y Juniper. After Tesla's massive price cuts and the dubbed price war that it has caused, Tesla's stock is now up over 100% from last year. It's one of just 7 stocks holding up the entire S&P 500 this year, and it seems like the rest of the markets aren't doing quite as well. Last year, when most investments were having their worst year in decades, one other market stood out alongside Tesla, hitting record highs. The fine art market is expected to gain $1 trillion in value by 2025, according to experts at Deloitte. And today's sponsor, Masterworks, is an innovator helping you enter that space. They give investors like you the chance to invest in legendary art from names like Picasso, Banksy, and Monet. Masterworks has sold over $45 million worth of art so far and distributed the net returns back to their investors. You invest just a small fraction of a piece's full value and then get your share of the potential return when the work is sold. Over 750,000 people have signed up so far, and offerings have sold out in minutes, but you can skip the line by clicking the link in the description below. Get started today with the link in the description. While we're in the back, another feature we'd love to see Tesla add is a rear screen. They've done this in the Model S and X, and it's very popular amongst kids and those who frequently sit in the back. It allows you to control climate, volume, and watch various shows on streaming services directly with the screen's interface. We're now seeing third parties make their own versions of this screen as well, and it can be installed into a Model 3 or Y. So clearly it's something that people are seeking out in these vehicles. It would be a small feature that would make the Model Y even more desirable. Regarding the base features of the Model Y, this car currently tops out at a 330-mile EPA range. That's better than most EVs out there, but when you consider the differences that happen when you drive in the real world, a longer range, approaching 400 miles, is very enticing for this car. Tesla has promised a lot of things with their 4680 cells, but so far we've only seen these batteries on their new base Model Y with a 279-mile EPA range. Tesla has now given details about the Cybertruck 4680 batteries that will bring a 10% density increase over current ones, and seeing these in the Model Y with a large pack would be a big development. This could help bring a future Model Y with a longer range, and we'd love to see this option for the Model Y Juniper. That said, Tesla is always trying to focus on efficiency, and the most efficient way to travel in a Tesla may be to have a smaller battery with faster charging. Currently, Tesla vehicles top out at 250 kilowatt speeds, but improvements to this charging curve could bring reductions in charging time while on a road trip. That's the most important aspect overall, but Tesla has also been working on their new V4 superchargers. These have begun popping up in Europe and support charging speeds of 350 kilowatts or more. With faster peak charging speeds coming to chargers, we know it will trickle down to their cars eventually, and maybe this Model Y refresh is what will bring those. Not only would the Model Y be able to charge faster once Tesla installs new V4 chargers in your market, but it should be able to charge at full 350 kilowatt peak speeds at Electrify America, which is switching to Tesla's NACS connector. A combo of each of these would be great to see, even in a small way for the Juniper Model Y. Faster charging speeds coupled with a larger battery pack makes road trips that much easier as a whole, and charging that much easier for those who can't do so at home. One other way that Tesla could change up the Model Y is by introducing an LFP pack in all markets. The rear-wheel drive Model 3 uses this pack, and it comes with some specific advantages due to its different chemistry. For one, it's cheaper to make and doesn't use certain rare elements. It's considered more environmentally sustainable than other chemistries. For two, by its nature, it's best for this battery to be charged up to 100%. Tesla's lithium-ion batteries, on the other hand, still deliver a better energy density, which is why they still use them on their long-range cars, but they are best charged to 80 or 90% each day. Otherwise, you'll degrade your battery faster than is ideal. So in practice, if Tesla made a 240-mile range LFP Model Y, that would be 240 miles each day that is available for you to use. Whereas charging a 330-mile range Model Y to 80% safely each day means 264 miles available. LFP has certain advantages like this, and it could allow Tesla to ship a cheaper version of the Model Y with a similar daily usable range to most EVs on the market. They ship an LFP rear-wheel drive standard range Model Y in other markets already, so maybe with this Juniper refresh, it could come to others like the US. At the end of the day, it'll likely come down to what Tesla is able to source easily while making it qualify for the US federal EV tax credit. Two features that Tesla ships in the Model S and X have been rumored for the Model Y for quite some time. The first is a big one for ride quality and adaptive air suspension. The Model Y has seen a ton of improvement in this area, but it's still tough to say that the Model Y ride is luxury. Air suspension could solve that, and the Model Y's design so far has actually included some provisions for air suspension. Firmware has also hinted at this car getting an air suspension, but of course it is yet to arrive. For a Project Juniper refresh though, this would be a possibility and a welcomed upgrade. It would quickly take this feature away from the Model S and X as an upgrade advantage, but Tesla's priority is clearly on the Model 3 and Y, and this would boost Model Y sales as this car becomes more luxurious. Another feature the Model S and X now have in their latest iterations is AAA gaming. This is enabled with the upgraded AMD infotainment computer that delivers PS5 level entertainment, and you can access games through a Steam integration. This is a pretty awesome feature of these cars that gives you many entertainment options while charging or sitting in your car. It's also a fun place to play with an incredible sound system, but it's very limited since these cars are so pricey. Tesla's more affordable Model 3 and Y have simple games now, so simply taking this chip and functionality from the Model S and X would be a great feature to add in the Project Juniper Model Y. In my opinion, not many people deciding to spend $100,000 on a Model X are using this as a reason to buy it, but for some buying a Model 3 or Y, it could truly be an exciting feature that you want and helps you make that decision. One of the best parts of an electric car, and a Tesla in particular, is storage space. One location in particular that is exclusive to electric cars is the front trunk, but Tesla has always included a manual hood here. It requires you to manually open and close it in a specific way, so I find that I rarely use this on a daily basis. Other brands though, like Rivian and Lucid, have shipped powered front trunks that open and close just like the trunk. It may seem like a small thing, but it's a feature that makes this area much more accessible and useful for daily storage needs. If Tesla added this, I think it would be something that many people would love about their Model Y. Project Juniper may be the perfect time to add it in. Next are two safety features that are a long shot but worth mentioning. First is a blind spot indicator on the side mirrors. Tesla has blind spot cameras that come up on screen when you engage the turn signal, along with an active autopilot visualization on screen displaying what's in your blind spot. But for many customers, they wish there was a simple light up indicator on the side mirror. For me, I think this is most useful for other cars on the road, so that as you pass through someone's blind spot, you know that their car sees you and is warning the driver. It's also very useful as a driver and very clear since you are already using this mirror when changing lanes. I'd love to see it on the Juniper Model Y, but I'm not counting on it. The second is rear cross-traffic alert. Most brands include a form of this, and it helps in scenarios like the one pictured here. Tesla does not include this feature, and it may be because of their wide rear camera, along with FSD visualizations on screen. Still, in the heat of the moment, these alerts can be extremely useful. Part of the reason that these features are long shots is unfortunately a byproduct of Elon Musk's ongoing incredibly ambitious FSD goals. It feels like in Tesla's mind, their customers won't even be driving their cars soon enough, so they don't need to see these things or have these warnings. Instead, the car will be driving and will do so better than a human. In my opinion, I'd love to see them achieve that while giving drivers as much safety information as they can in the meantime, especially when they're standard features in competing cars. One thing that's great about electric cars is instant torque. These cars are incredibly quick, and the Model Y handles very well. It makes it a super fun car to drive, but as a passenger, when on one of those drives, the only real place to hold on is the handle on the door. When getting in or out of this car as well, there really isn't anything to grab and assist you. Tesla has opted out of putting any handles in their cars, aside from the ones on the doors, and I think it has a lot to do with a simple design. From a design perspective, I understand this move, but as someone who has driven a lot of different people in this car, I find this to be lacking. People want this handle and they miss it in the Model Y. I'd love to see it added into the Juniper Model Y, but again, we'll see. Lastly, a big part of the Highland and Juniper refreshes are that Tesla is learning about manufacturing, redesigning, and optimizing for cost savings. They're clearly learning a lot and planning for their more affordable next generation platform, as detailed at Investor Day. But in the meantime, they want to apply as much as they can to their current cars. The ultimate goal is to bring down manufacturing cost and then pass that savings on to the customer. From the get-go, I don't expect the Juniper Model Y with all of these feature upgrades to be cheaper, but long-term, I think that will be what Tesla aims for and achieves. That's a feature that would be awesome to see in this car, a starting price closer to $40,000 or even under, which is where Tesla originally wanted this car to be priced. An offering at that price, along with all of this functionality, would help make that car even more popular and accessible to the average person. Many of these features are what we fully expect Tesla to bring to the Model Y refresh, hopefully coming in 2024 after the Highland Model 3. The rest are features we'd love to see and that customers would surely appreciate. What's a feature that you want to see Tesla add or change in the Model Y when it gets updated? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, if you want to see a full breakdown of what we expect for the Project Highland Model 3, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.